Hi everyone and welcome for that video about the perfect tense. I'm only going to talk about the regular verbs in that video. There's quite a few irregularities and exceptions with the perfect tense, so brace yourself because you will see more videos about this one. But for now, we are going to try and stick to the most basic pattern. So, first of all, when do you use this tense? You use it when you want to talk about what you did or what you have done in the past. So you've got two ways to translate that tense in English. We only have one in French. So no matter if you want to talk about what you did or what you have done, you will use the perfect tense, same rule for those two ways. Another thing you need to know about that tense is that it describes a punctual event or action in the past. You want to use the perfect tense to talk about something that was a habit in the past. For example, if you want to say, oh, when I was younger, I used to play football every Wednesday with my friends, you wouldn't use the perfect to translate that. You would use the imperfect, so that would be a different video. You would use the perfect if you wanted to say, yesterday, punctual event, yesterday I played football with my friends. Or, yesterday I have played football with my friends. So, how do you form that tense? I know I said there's two ways to translate it in English. I'm only going to use this one for a start just because every part here has an equivalent in French, so it's easier to explain and for you to grasp if I stick only with that translation. But that translates both I have watched and I watched, just so you know. Let's stick with that for now. So, if you want to say I have watched in French, you will have the part for I, which is your J apostrophe. It's the je, but without the E because you have a vowel after. You have the part for have, which is E, so just that. And you've got the part for watched, regardez. So if I break that down in two parts, you've got I have. If I say I have a pen in my hand right now, I'm talking in the present tense. So that I have, even if it's used to build a tense in the past, that's actually a present tense. And that's the present of the verb to have. So you translate it exactly the same way. The present tense of the verb to have with I is j'ai here. And then you've got that other part, watched, which is not exactly as easy to translate automatically because you can see it here. You've got that regardez with an E accent, and for now you will be thinking, how the heck did we reach that point with an E accent when regardez is an ER verb? I'm going to explain that in a few seconds. So, several parts, like I said, in that tense. You've got the subject pronoun here, I, je. You've got that part, have, which is called the auxiliary have or to have in the present tense. Auxiliary, I don't mind if you, in your notes, you use the word verb to have in the present tense to describe the rule. But if you want to carry on further with French, especially at A level, get used to that term because you will see it coming back. Just because, well, first, in the perfect tense, there's quite a few irregularities, and then there's more perfect tense. That's the basic one, but you also have the pluperfect, the future perfect, etc. And in each of those, you will have that part, the auxiliary. So if you want to keep it simple, use the word verb to have in the present tense, but the technical term is auxiliary, and that describes that and that. And then another technical term, that bit here is the past participle. And that's the part where you will really have to adjust something. I'm coming to that. So, the easy part first. You have your pronoun and the auxiliary or the verb, it's the same, to have in the present tense. Well, that means you have I have, you have, he or she has, we have, you have plural, and they have. All of that is the present tense of the verb to have, so it's translated with something you should already know if you're watching this video. J'ai, tu as, il a, elle a, on a, nous avons, vous avez, ils ont, elles ont. No specific difficulty here, or at least I hope. It's just, once again, the verb to have in the present tense, and that will be the beginning of your perfect tense each time, at least for regular verbs. Then, the past participle. This is where it can get a bit more tricky. So, how did I reach that here? How did I get to the point where I've got a verb with an E accent? I'm going to show you a few examples. So, what happens, here's the rule. The rule is that you take your infinitive, so your verb ending in ER, IR, or RE, and then you get rid of those two last letters and you replace them with a different ending. So if you have an ER verb, you will replace it with an E accent, which kind of makes sense. There's still that E somewhere. If you have an IR verb, you will take it off and replace it with an I. Once again, it makes sense, you stick with the I. If you have an RE verb, this is where it doesn't make any sense, sorry I don't make the rules, you take off the RE and you replace it with a U. Why? I don't know. It's just the way it is. So, if I want to put that into practice, if I want to say, for example, I have played. The verb to play is jouer. I have is here, so that's not the difficult part. But how do I say I have played? Well, j'ai, and then you take off the er. That's very neat. And you replace it with E accent, giving you the verb j'ai joué, I have played, or I played. Both translations are exactly the same for us. If you want to use a different verb, but still an ER one, if you want to say you have danced, well, that's your verb to dance. You have is here. You have danced. Take off the ER, put an E accent instead. You have danced. Or you danced. Sorry, I didn't have the room to write both. If you want to say he has or she has sung, you need another ER verb. There you go. So he has or she has, il, elle a. Take off the ER, replace it with an E accent. Il or elle a chanté. That could also mean he or she sang. Let's move on to IR verbs now. If you want to say we have finished with on, we have finished, on a, take your IR verb, take off the IR, put a I instead, on a fini. If you want to say we have chosen, that's the verb to choose, choisir. We have, nous avons. Take off the IR that you don't need. Follow the rule. Add the I instead. Nous avons choisi. We have chosen or we chose. If you want to say, where am I? If you want to say you have lost, but with you plural, the verb to lose is perdre. Once again, follow the rule. Take off the RE. Put a U instead. You have lost. Vous avez perdu. There's one last, but I'm not going to show you the rule again. With attendre, which is also an RE verb. Once again, they have waited. attendre, take off the RE, put a U instead, and that gives you il or elle ont attendu. So here's a little exercise for you to apply that rule. I'm going to do the first one, and then I'm going to let you get on with it. So we have heard, or we heard. Once again, I prefer to stick with that one because it's easier to build a parallel between French and English. I want the pronoun on, so I can already write that down. Then I check the we have part with on, that's on a. And then I've got an RE verb here, so I said to take off that RE, and then to follow that rule here, for RE, I put a U. So if you want to say we have heard or we heard, on a entendu. Take a few seconds to do the exercise, pause the video, but I am marking right now, so make sure you have paused and done the exercise. So I have listened. I have, present tense of the verb to have, j'ai. Take off that er and put an e accent because that's the ending for er verbs. You have sold with tu. You have is tu as. Then you copy that, but you take off the re. The ending for re, we have seen it here, it's a u. He has built. He has built. Take off the ir. If you need, double check on your notes. That's an ending in I. Il a bâti. We have accomplished, or we accomplished, with nous. Nous. We have with nous, it's nous avons. And then once again, you have an ir verb. Take off that ir, replace it with an I. Nous avons accompli. You have eaten. Vous. But it's the vous plural, so it's vous avez. And then I have an er verb here. Take off that er, replace it with the appropriate ending, which is an e accent. Vous avez mangé. And the last one, they have defended. Il or elle, doesn't matter. They have, ils ont. Re verb, take off that re. And once again, the ending for re is a u. Ils ont défendu, they have defended, or they defended. I hope it's clear. I know it's a tense that is not so easy to grasp at the beginning, but it's one you have to know absolutely for GCSE and A-level. And once again, especially for A-level, many tenses will be built on the same structure. So I hope that at least for a beginning that was clear, because there's more to come, guys. Thanks for watching and see you later. Bye bye.